Hey, good morning. Welcome to the morning brief. Today is Tuesday, August 12th. So, what's going on today? Well, we just had our 8:30 numbers come out, and you can see here by looking at forexfactory.com calendar that at 8:30 we had core CPI came out at zero point 0.3 month over month at 0.3%, which was expected. However, this is even though that was expected, so nothing really dramatic there. We was above last month's. CPI month over month was slightly less, 0.2% versus 2%, 0.2% expected, but last month was 0.3. Year over year CPI was less than expected. Expected was 2.8, actual was 2.7, and the last time we had this report, it was 2.7 as well. So very benign CPI. CPI basically stayed exactly the same as it did in prior months. Uh, and that is why you'll see the market reaction that we got. 10 a.m. we have FOMC member Barkin speaking. 10:30 we have FOMC member Schmidt speaking. At 2 p.m. we have federal budget balance, and that is it for the regular market hours. So let's take a look at charts. So this is the overnight chart. You can see the big reaction to the CPI number. We'll talk about that in just a second. Looking at the daily chart, we are definitely gapping up substantially. There's our close from yesterday. Big gap up on the, it's weird because it's the same CPI number from last month, but it's suddenly super great. It was as expected. There is still inflation, but the market just wants to go up at this point in time. That's all there is to say about it. So we got a gap up. Yeah, that's already a huge bar for a pre-market action. So, I don't know that we're going to go that much farther to the upside. Maybe get into this 64.51 area, and certainly could retest those lows from yesterday's 63.88. So yeah, kind of is what it is. Very toppy market. That being said, you can see that overnight yesterday we had a down day, and we had a positive inventory. So divergence there. I still think this is major buy the dip, folks. They just keep coming back. Eventually they'll get burned, and the market will fall. It will fall aggressively. Here's that big move to the upside. Now, one of the interesting things about this move to the upside, which we can look at on the next chart, is that normally when you have a news reaction, you have this giant spike, and then it will retrace 50% to 100% about 85% of the time. And what we're seeing right now is that 15% where it did not retrace, or isn't as of yet. We'll have to wait and see how that all pans out. Looking at the overnight action again, you can see prior to the news event, we had about 20 points of overnight movement, and that is about average or slightly below average. So relatively not a lot going on prior to the news event, and boom. Yeah, we've got another 30 points added to the intraday or overnight range, now about 50 points, which is well above average. And you can see here that we are starting to pull back a little bit. However, I would say that we are already almost 12 minutes, 18 minutes from the news release. So we're not getting that reversion to the mean trade that we normally get on a news item. A big spike up, it usually reverts back down, usually within the first 5 to 10 minutes. So this would be the opposite of that, which would be the 15% of the time that it just goes directionally, goes up or goes down with no reversion or revision back to the mean. So there you go. Stock Trader's Almanac for today is 47.6. So a negative bias for the day. Hope you have a great Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, thanks for watching the morning brief. Check out my website for more information, oneononetrading.com. Take a look at the Troy levels, a trade location finder for the futures markets. Help you find those levels of support and resistance that are just so hard to find. I also do personal coaching and mentorships. So go ahead and take a look at my website, oneononetrading.com.